Okay, I'm back here again with a quick progress report on the build. Tried to do the final assembly. Managed to get the bumpers on the front, on the back. They went on quite well, and the fascia or underneath here, the black part, the glues, that also had to scrape off the chrome off the bumper at the glue points, and that fit on quite well. I had a little difficulty getting the front bumper on. The glue points were it didn't attach very well. It doesn't meet up. The grill and the body here don't meet up quite well, so I had to do some sanding and scraping and a lot of glue. I managed to get that on. The black fascia that goes under there fell off trying to put the chassis in. I did get the interior tub in. There's two glue points here which were fine, but there's two very small tips on the end of these tabs here that touch. So I had to put glue on there. That held it and managed to let it dry and holding it in place long enough to get the chassis in. I did try to push the chassis in, and I originally had the battery in as per the instructions show. The battery goes on the firewall here, and the washer fluid goes on here. In the real car, I think this goes on this side here on the fender, but according to the instructions, this went on here. So I did attach a battery to the firewall on the narrow end, and when I tried to put the chassis up into the body, the fender was catching on. The inside fender well was catching on the battery, so I had to break the battery off the firewall and turn it sideways. So I've done that now. Unfortunately, it was glued on really well, so it took quite a bit of cutting and prying. So I've turned the battery around 90 degrees and attached it that way, and now the inner fender well will fit up against that inside, and hopefully I can get that back in, the chassis in okay, and re-glue on the this front fascia piece that goes under the bumper that came off with handling. There's not a lot of, the glue points are fairly small and little contact. So hang on here, I'll try again and be back soon, hopefully, with a new update. Well, my AMT 1960s Corvette is finished. I got the body snapped into, the chassis snapped into the body. It fitted in there well, and popped the as you see in the pictures at the end, the radiator hose is in and the hood is on. It just pushed into place, and that's it. I've got the tonneau cover, which is optional for this build. It's more for the street rod, but I painted it up and have it ready to go on there. I didn't use any of the decals. I looked at them at the beginning, and then I didn't look at them again until I was finished. There's a lot of racing decals and black flames that I wouldn't use. The thing with this is that there are some decals here for the gauges on the speedometer, I guess, here, and the dash, and the license plates, but I don't think they would even fit in the space provided. I looked at the dash decal, and I think it would be too big. I just put a black wash in there and then went over it with a white pencil to bring out the numbers, and then put some future on it to gloss it up a bit. The decals, the logos here, I put the chrome pieces in here. I guess I could have used decals for those. I think there's decals here for the flags. They don't tell you where they go. I know there's places on here for the flags. I'm just going to leave it, I think, in the silver. I probably should have, best way would be to shave those off here and then put the decals on if you wanted to use the decals. However, I think for now I'm just going to leave it as is, and some of these racing decals can be used on toolboxes or for a diorama or somewhere else. I'll put them in my drawer that I have for my decal sheets. I have a drawer for those and a drawer for the completed instruction sheets. So thanks for following along, and I'll take a few pictures at the end, and then this will go on display. I'm back again. As promised, I almost forgot to show you the leftover parts that belong with the street rod version. They're two wider tires with the printed Goodyear on them, and a little bit wider so they can be used somewhere else. And I showed you the decal sheet. On the chrome tree, there's a couple of side pipes and two antennas. There's the two roll bars that go on the back behind the seats, an extra set of chrome mag wheels, and they're designed to go with the wire, the axle. metal axle, and then there's a few pieces of styrene left. There's the headrest, two headrests. I'm not sure what this piece is for. None of this is on the instruction sheet. They don't give you names or numbers for them. I guess it gives you the name on the part, but it doesn't have this part here, so I'm not sure what that is. This is for the hood scoop, and they don't tell you what these are, but I believe those could be used as fender skirts. So imagine that would go on the back. So there's those options left over.